Hi everyone, welcome to 10 on the 10th, where we do at least or around 10 Christmas cards every month. And I'm combining this a little bit with my hashtag Use It Up 2020. So 10 on the 10th is hosted by Metal Scrappin' Chick, who is Kim. Hi Kim. And hashtag Use It Up 2020 is a challenge that Beth of Bourbon Creek Crafts started. So let me put this aside and show you what I'm using. I had a goal when I bought this 24 double-sided papers. I bought it used for $3 and it only had 14 double-sided papers. I have finished it. I have smashed this little paper pad, albeit a partial one, and all I have left is this, and these three are from the tops of the pads. I did use most of them, but I do have just a couple left. I'm considering it smashed. I didn't use the cover. I will probably save both parts of the cover to use for tags or something, which I may do in another challenge. But for now, I'm considering that used up. I did as much as I could. And other things that I had in my Use It Up challenge that I wanted to use, and I did, were these, oops, except for one little star I see. Well, I will use that. Anyway, I punched all of this sheet out. The Noel was already out, but all the stars, and actually only one of the trees was left. So all the stars, one tree, the Mary and the Joy I used, except for this little star that I didn't realize was stuck on the adhesive in here. So I'm considering that used too. I will put that on where you'll see in a minute. There were 3 burlap Christmas poinsettias in this 6-piece pack. I finished those. There were 2 adhesive ribbon bows, one in like an olive green and one in a red. I finished those. I used this whole pack of square note cards, 6 craft cards with matching envelopes. I think I got them from Jen Evers also. And this Love Nicole, there were 4 sets of cards and envelopes, and then there were like I'm going to say like 11 or 12 just envelopes, but I had made cards previously with the cards and I hadn't put the envelopes with them. So I just put the envelopes with those. Those were not for today. So this is finished also. So let me show you what all I made as soon as I get this stuff out of the way. I started off with those craft envelopes, and I'll show you other things. Oh, okay, this, I did use a couple Stampin' Up! Things that are retiring. The first couple I used this Labels to Love, which is retiring, and it goes with the Everyday Label Punch, which is not retiring, but the stamp set is. So I used this Merry Christmas and Best Wishes for a Happy New Year on several of the cards. And on several other ones, I used this Merry Christmas to All stamp set, which is retiring too, and I'm sad. I was going to use the dies, but I did not. I don't believe I used the dies that go with that. I did have some deer and borders corners already die cut from the detailed deer dies. Those are retiring as well from Stampin' Up! So if you're interested in any of those, get them while you can. And so these are the first cards I did. Now these are the square and note cards and envelopes, and you can see I put a strip on the envelope as well on all of them. I think inside this is Very Vanilla by Stampin' Up! And 2 strips of the paper, and this is Very Vanilla, a piece of the paper which had more like a solid red, and then this designer paper, and then this is washi, which is also in my Use It Up bin. I still have a bit left on there, but I did use some in a couple different things. So that is card number 1. Alright, card number 2. Same way, except that I didn't use Very Vanilla because this is more white, so I just used the other red paper. It's this pattern here on one side. I can't remember what's on the other side. And then this. And this is what's on the back, I believe, of this, but don't hold me to that. And here's where I used the tapestry. One of the burlap, not tapestry, burlap poinsettias. And another one of the Label Me Lovely. And then this is a strip of the paper here too. So this time I use Whisper White. And I didn't put a sentiment in here because, well, it already has this on the front, but this says Merry Christmas again here with the snowman and the children. And another strip of the paper. And the envelope also has a little bit wider piece of the paper. So that's card number 2. Now the next 2 used Very Vanilla and this paper with the wood grain, and I think it looks like doilies on part of it. So I pulled out a die I had that I think I got from KS Craft, which is overseas, and I got this back in October 2019. Well, I ordered it then. I got it in November. Flower doily cutting die. It cut out pretty good. I had to run it through like 4 times, and I did that twice with Very Vanilla. And then this ribbon is not retiring. It's actually, oh yeah, maybe it is. Now I can't remember. It might, no, I don't think this one is. This is the Very Vanilla with gold. I just felt like I needed a little bit of something to bling it up. So I did use some of that. And these are 2 pieces out of those wood retired Stampin' Up! Festive Farmhouse elements, the Merry and the Joy. And what I did is I used a soft suede alcohol marker and just colored. There's this gray side and then the wood side, and I colored the gray side with the soft suede dark alcohol marker and just put them sideways across. And then on the inside just a strip of the paper, and I think the envelope is blank on those. So kind of, yeah, that's all. And then this one, these next 2 are the same, except I did the opposite with the papers. So this one has the plaid and then this zigzaggy on top, sort of offset. And this one has the zigzaggy with the plaid sort of offset. Here is where I used that stamp set, Merry Christmas to All, and I put wishing you a very Merry Christmas, and I did that on my Stampin' Up! Stamparatus because I had to do it twice and I wanted to get it fairly even. And then also I used these 2 little holly leaves. I stamped it in red, real red, and the holly leaves in Old Olive because I thought those colors went well. And on Very Vanilla. And then I also used 2 of these retiring, these are already retired, I think, colored doilies in Old Olive. I still have some. And these were the last 2 bows I used out of that American Craft Holiday adhesive ribbon bows. I had 1 each in those colors. And these I'm still working through are some, I believe they're retired Stampin' Up! Too. There's red and a little bit of green. I don't even, not the sugar ones, but these little Old Olive. And I had some round red, not the hearts, and I used 3 on this in the green and 3 on this in the red. And then on the inside of these, I have a strip of paper. So what I did is, this one I used this paper and on Very Vanilla, and I just stamped those hollies again. And on this one, I'm pretty sure I used the plaid. Yep. and the hollies on the top and bottom. And strip of paper on the envelopes as well. But on those, I might have them backwards. I have the, no, this time I have the green on the envelope, and here I have the plaid on the envelope. I may change them, I'm not sure yet. So those are the 6 5.5 by 5.5 inch cards, which are 6-inch envelopes. And then, let's see, what did I use next? Then I did these next. I had the 4 Love Nicole A2 size cards. So these were from the Detailed Deer dies, but they were already cut out when I pulled that out to use, and I thought, so I just put a piece of paper down, put them in the corners, put another piece of paper across. I actually had already punched this out when I decided to use for this one, and I decided to use Whisper White instead on that, and so this is on Very Vanilla, which the card is white, but the background is more Very Vanilla. And then I did use those green Old Olive color pearls, and I used 5 big ones and 2 like medium sized ones on here, so 7 altogether. And inside is just a strip of the same background paper, and I think nothing on the envelope. This one, this deer had already been cut out as well, and it's in like a flocked paper. I forget what it was called. I think that was Stampin' Up! Too, but I'm not sure. Here I used a piece of paper. I put that washi again through the middle, and then I also used that Dollar Tree, where did I put it? Dollar Tree gold, I don't know what I do with it, guys. It's around here somewhere. Here it is. This deco tape, I guess they call it. Blingy blingy, and I did put 3 more of the Old Olive pearls on. And then inside, I used another piece of that paper, and I stamped Happy Holidays. And that is also out of the Merry Christmas to All stamp set, which is retiring. I will try to remember to put the numbers of the Stampin' Up! Products down below the video. So then I got to the next two, and I'm like, oh, what am I going to do? I was starting to run out of ideas, and I thought, I had this paper, but I didn't want to put an overall paper down. So I ended up flipping a piece over, which has the green on the back, using that as a mat for a piece of the red, which I'd already cut, and then I used Stampin' Up's layering ovals and cut this piece out. And then this is out of that same Merry Christmas to All stamp set, Season's Greetings from Our Home to Yours, which goes all the way across to the end of the green, but I didn't like the stark white against it so much, so I just put some of that deco tape down either side, and 3 of the Old Olive pearls. And I had 4 of these left, and I used 2, one on a different card, which you'll see later, but I still have 2 more. So anyway, that's what I did on that one. And inside, just a piece of the red paper here, and nothing on the envelope. And then here, I think this might be on the other side of the red. I can't remember. One of these 2 is, but here's a piece I had left over from cutting this paper. Yeah, I think this might be on the other side of the red. So this and that came from the same paper. And I just layered this over a little bit. And then I was digging to find something to stamp this sentiment on. And I found I already had this gold. They're called the Stitched Nested Label dies. They are not retiring. But I'd already done one in gold foil, so I used that. I stamped the greeting on white in the next smaller one and stuck them together, and then bumped that up on dimensionals. Here's one of the red burlap flowers out of that three I had left. and a little piece of this, I know this is Stampin' Up! And it's like cherry cobbler, but I don't remember if it's from an old catalog or a paper pumpkin. It seems like it was a paper pumpkin, but I couldn't be sure. I really like it. It's like a braided linen thread or something. It's flat. It's flattish instead of round. So I made a bow and stuck that down with a glue dot. And inside, just a piece of the green paper here. And that's it on that one. So I already did this one. And then next I did I pulled out 2 more craft cards from, this was in my hashtag use it up also, but I only used 2 sets out of 8 that were left out of the 12. So I still have 6 cards and envelopes left in that from Coordinations. I'm pretty sure that was AC Moore or Michael's. I don't know. And this is the one. I'll probably put another star on here. So I'm going to just do that right now with you, which will make my number be off a little bit, but oh well. So in this case, I glued down the, let's see, where do we need one? Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, it'll work out good. I think maybe here, right under the deer. Right under the deer. Okay. Good, we have an odd number now, I think, unless I miscounted. So these 2 deer also, I have a little bag of those, and that was in my hashtag use it up. I still have some, but I thought I should step back. These are scraps left from all the other cuttings. So I did 2 cards, regular sized craft cards with the scraps. But what I did is I cut a piece of Very Vanilla to 5 1/4 by 4. I think, although that looks like 5. I'm not sure now. I thought it was 5 1/4 by 4. So anyway, and here's the little tree also. I just thought that this went good on it. So no sentiment on the front or on the inside. I just put another piece of paper, and that says Merry Christmas there. So I didn't really write a sentiment. It's kind of a generic Christmas card. And then this one, I did the same thing, except I made it a little brighter. I backed it on a piece of Old Olive, but I did the strips the same way on a piece of either Whisper White or Very Vanilla. I can't remember. And then this is retired already Stampin' Up! Ribbon in Old Olive, stitched edge ribbon, 1/4 inch that I had in my stash. So I wrapped that around both pieces, glued it all down, and then this is the retiring Starburst punch. This is still current 2-inch circle punch, and this came out of that same Merry Christmas to All set. It says wishing you peace and love all year long, and since it had the word love, I used some of the little red hearts out of the I think they're retired Stampin' Up! As well. And they were in Old Olive and what appears to be real red. So there's some little hearts left. I still have some green ones left too. Anyway, I put 3 little red hearts on, and here's where the second one of those red ribbon poinsettias or whatever it is appears. And inside, this time I used another piece of Old Olive, Whisper White, and a tiny little strip of paper I had left in the green color. So that is the second of 2 of the Craft A2 cards. And then lastly, so that's 6, 10, 11, 12, and then I made 4 3x3 note cards. And I did them with scraps. I did them using the strips from the tops of the paper pads. If you cut them, I cut all the papers I pulled all the papers out of the pad and then I cut them at exactly 6 inches before I started using them. But if you cut to 2 3/4 and flip it around and cut to 2 3/4, you get rid of the hole and you've got even 2 3/4 inch strips on all of the designs. The only ones I have left of that are these, and I didn't really want to use the Santa helper or this side. I don't know that, but I would have had enough for one more card, but then it would mess up my even set of 4 cards. So I took a piece of Whisper White, cut it to 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, laid the strips down on this particular one. No, that's what I did. I laid down all these different strips, 1 2 3 4 5, and then I had some Pear Pizzazz scrap that I was able to get 2 Starburst circle punches out of, and I had some stickers. I still have some from this Target sheet I'm trying to use up. So I just stuck on Best Wishes, 3 little stars, this little thing, and the little bow from the paper, and I believe the inside is blank. Yep. And then this one, different papers. This time I had a little gap, I think, in between 2 cards here. I think this was actually maybe the last one I did, and I covered that by using this washi, which is in my use it up pile. Then I punched out the Starburst in Whisper White, and I just put the old olive looking colors down on with stickers on, and I just glued it all down. Everything is blank inside. This one had the little wreath sticker. Again, put it on Pear Pizzazz. This did not have a gap, but I just wanted to break up that green with a little darker green, so I used washi there. And I think that helps make it pop a little bit against the Pear Pizzazz. And that's that one. And then the last one is this one. And these are all just, instead of moving these up a little bit, I actually used another piece of paper and then cut it off. But I probably should have worked from the edges in, and then if I had a gap, used washi again, but I didn't. And this was done, the second one I think I did, with white Starburst punch, a couple of little pearls, and the thank you, and this little thing from the sticker sheet. So those are all my cards. Let me get all this stuff out of the way. I was very pleased with what I did. And yeah, and I used up things. I was so happy that I used so much up. So yeah, those 6 cards there, these 4 little note cards and envelopes or gift tags I could use them as, or a little thank you for a gift at Christmas. And yeah, I was pretty pleased. So I have smashed a small paper pad. It's not the one I'm still working through for my normal smash the small paper pad, but for 10 on the 10th, I made 12 full size, 6 in this size, 6 in A2, 2 are craft and 4 are white, plus 4 little note cards. So I hope you enjoyed that, and go please check out everyone else in the collab. Sorry for the long video, and we will see you next month for 10 on the 10th Christmas cards, hosted by Metal Scrap and Chick. And I'll see you on the 28th of this month for the rest of my hashtag Use It Up Challenge 2020. Talk to you soon. Hugs, love, and peace.